Check, check. You can't hear me? Hello? Check, check. I can't test anything. Like, I can't hear anything. Like, I can't see if it's working or not. So give me a second. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Looks like we got good. Right on. All right, man. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's happening with Streamlabs, but it woke up this morning and it was being a pain in my ass. All right. Excuse me. All right. So inverse Kramer, he's saying yes to. What is this? So if Kramer's saying yes to valet, V-A-L-E, then we want to go inverse Kramer. All right. That dude. Anyway, still trying to find some good news service because the one that I had is broken. We will get into that. We do have some events today, and guess what? Yo, over FlowTrade, we have got earnings. We've got new stuff, right, that we can look at, which is pretty damn cool. We've got jobless claims at, this is my time, so it would be 10:30. What time is this? Hold on. Jobless claims is 8:30 Eastern. So yeah, this time is off. That's crazy. All right, we've got jobless claims, durable goods, natty gas inventories, Fed manufacturing activity today, 4-week bill action and 7-year note. I don't know if I have to figure out the time zone on that, but this definitely works. GDP at 8:30 Eastern, unemployment at 8:30 Eastern, 10:30 natty gas storage, and that's it for the day. So basically, this is the only economic events that should affect us today. Sorry about that. But I want to get into this. More importantly, yesterday was a crazy day across the market, and there's a couple of stocks that really, really affected the market. One was Facebook having earnings. Fake news came out halfway through the day, big dip on that, but then their earnings came out and they blew it out, right? They blew it out. They closed at 173. Earnings pushed them up to 210. They busted through the 2-minute or the 200 and the 50. They're currently resting at the 50-day on my 8-minute chart here. Blowout up to the daily mid, resting in the weekly cloud. Long of Facebook above 210. Next stop would be 214, and then up to the daily top of 223. Does that momentum carry on? I think that it might, especially since it is Facebook. We've got a couple other stocks that have pretty significant earnings today. One of them is Twitter, right? They came out, they're having their earnings right now. Hold on, I gotta go turn that down. All right, talk about something that get back all your gains, right? Come out and have some bad or some mixed earnings. They did remove all their previous guidance, so that makes sense because they're going to become a public company. Twitter at this point, I'm not even having any interest in trading at all, right? If we don't get chopped, then there's no point in trading it, really, in my opinion. So we do have Amazon earnings today, right? Pre-market Amazon is up. What else has earnings today? Amazon and what was it? There's a couple too. Oh, Apple, right? Amazon and Apple today. Twitter, MasterCard earnings, XPEP, Caterpillar, McDonald's, Merrick, Overstock, Lilly, right? They're all having earnings today. Tomorrow's, right? I don't like how this is. I don't like how that's laid out. Maybe. There we go. I like this better. It's Friday. Thursday earnings. I swear, there's got to be a better earnings calendar. Comcast has earnings. Anyway, Twitter, Nokia, MasterCard, XPEP, Cat, McDonald's, Merrick, Overstock. Just a bunch of earnings today, and then tomorrow, the big boys report. Amazon, Apple. Who's it today? Hold on, this is a joke. Okay, Amazon earnings day after the close, and I think Apple today as well. Yeah, so Amazon and Apple both have earnings today, which is good, but right. So basically, the title of the video was "The Market is Risk On Again," thanks to that move by Facebook. So if you had any place that you swung like I did, I swung my AMD, no, I swung Nvidia, AMD. What else did I swing? Oh, my Shopify calls. So I swung calls in AMD, Nvidia, and Shopify. Got stopped out of my Square, and oh, I also took. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. Let me just pull this up as a PDF. All right, so let's get into our futures, and then we will get going. The market is risk on based on those earnings. Another reason is we came down and we hit some pretty key levels yesterday. Right? We came down, we hit, remember this move? We set this chart, we came down, we hit this level, we hit this level, but most importantly, we retested the 200. We're hitting the 21 right now. What happens here, folks? Do we get a 21 200 cross up? Right? That's a 30-minute chart. I believe we're going to hit it. Right? I think we're going to hit it today. What I'd really like to see is for us to maintain this momentum that we have going, right? A little risk on appetite, came down, we kissed that 41.36 level. Look at this, we have a 21.50, 200 cross up and over on the 15. That should translate to the same on the 30, right? When the 30 gets there, we'll just keep melting up, making higher highs and higher lows. So with that being said, from a daily, where does that put us in our daily perspective, right? Did we get some recovery going on here, right? Do we have potential to break up above, 42.60 to go to 43.21 and then 43.71? If we do, watch for this 21.50 bounce up. The 21 bouncing up off of 50 will pull price up. We're still rallying up to the 21 on the daily, right? We're at the 21 on the 4 hour. We close above that, right? We got to close above that, and then we can continue to move back up. Contrarian, if we reject this 4 hour 21, that would mean that we reject the 21,200 cross up, and then it's going to get sketchy. So let me get this pulled up here. My mission this weekend is going to find a good news source. I don't mind paying for the Hammerstein data, but you know, they just presented it in such an easy, concise way that I got used to for the last 2 years, right? And I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, yo, what's up? And they're like, they don't care. Anyway, so those key levels, right? Definitely channel up. Look at this. This is what you call divergence here, right? We start pulling back on that cross up and over. All right, moving on. The NASDAQ. The NASDAQ. I'm afraid one of these days I'm going to say something else with the NASDAQ. All right, you guys everybody keeps hearing me talk about these snow lines, this, that, and the other. Yes, they're super powerful. It stopped us, right? 2 days ago. We bounced up off of it yesterday. We gapped up, and we're moving back up towards 13,480, right? Little concern is this 2150 did cross down, right, on the daily, right, 4-hour move, right? We're testing the 21 here. If we can get a close above this 21 on a 4-hour, it makes a nice easy move up to retest the 50-day at 13,500, 13,600. The 30-minute chart should give us a hint as to what's cracking with it. Right? Definitely melt up, channel up. Come on, load. Load up, mofo. Nvidia popped to 190, dropped to 188, and should be moving up. FCX, which was Freeport McMoran, which is the other one I swung. We actually finally, jeez. So the 15-minute, we had a cross up and over. We're holding the 50-day here. So if we can maintain 13231, we can move up to 13,400 psychological, 13,500 psychological. Nice moves up. We can pull back to around 13,160 and bounce. That's what I'm looking for, is that 200 retest and bounce to go long. 30-minute be our guide if we can ever get the data to load. All right, I don't have time for that. Oh, there it was. Well, we retested it. So the YM, right? We're going to be a nice rally up to our fire line, right? Pulling back to point of control. Do we get a rip and move? So if we can take out previous highs on the YM, right, that will definitely help pull us up. We have a nice 2150 crossover on the 30-minute. We're pulling back, testing that 21 here. I want to avoid this chop, right? So if we can avoid that chop in any way possible, that would be great. Daily perspective, that's us, right? Trying to make that move back up. 1, 2, we reject, and we come down. potential bear traps happening here, but we might get one more day up, right? Now, keep in mind, if Amazon comes out and has bad earnings, or Apple comes out and has bad earnings, we're easily going to just drop, right? So Microsoft, Facebook, good earnings, trying to make a move back up off this fire line, retesting the 21, right? Big decision days on the 4 hour, okay? All right. The old Russell, red-headed Russell. Chop, chop, chop. This is typically, I usually see this as bearish, but we have 2150 cross up. We came up to our snow line. We tested it. We're pulling back. We're going to retest the 21, possibly the 50 for support on the 30-minute, and they're going to make another attempt to get back up and above this 200. The level I have for this is 1920, right? The Russell 1920. Create an alert there. We get above 1920, then small caps are going to have a day. They may keep the market up. If they reject this, then we just squeeze here for the next couple of days, going into Powell. Powell's coming up when? Next week, right? We can just chop it ahead of Powell and then make that decision from there. Okay, let's get through this. Gold cannot regain the 50, right? This 50.21 is so powerful. We came down, we traded through that zone. My zone is probably off a little bit, but we're retesting. Might get a 2150 retest again, but we'd like to see this fail, right? Unfortunately, yes, I want gold to come down. Maybe we get a little bit of a pop, but we need rotation out of metals or gold into something else. Let's look at crude. Crude is chopping. This is fine, right? Consolidation, right? Another trend line, another wedge up, right? I'd actually like to see crude. Well, we have natty gas inventories today, so I don't know how that's going to affect crude, but that's a good little head and shoulders there if you ever want to look and see what one looks like. Yes, I'll go into BABA, right? Bonds, right? This TLT, we want this to fail. You know, it can come back down here. Typically what happens is when they rotate out of bonds, they rotate back into the ES. This is a good looking move. We can see continuation down to the downside today would be great. Now, yeah, I'm just going to put that. And then the yen, right? This move right here is what I'm afraid is going to happen with our major equities, right? We come down, we rip back up, and then we retrace even further down. Okay, the yen's still down. So, one last look here. We are retesting the 21, right? 30-minute 20, 30-minute 50 are super powerful. 42.50 is the key level. Above that, and whoop-de-whoop, right? We get woody-woody. Below that, we just can consolidate and chop. Now, do we get some early morning momentum to pop us up and retest that? Absolutely, right? We get to, you know, if I get a 30-minute closes above this 200, I'm going to go long. Right? If we start getting 2 30-minute closes below it, then I'm just going to kind of risk off a little bit. So, all right, with that being said, let's get through our bread and butter stocks and then we'll get into plays, okay? So, I'm trying to figure out which chart I like better with this, right? This one's good for, you know, machine learning, machine trading, but the other one's good for giving us actual levels. Now, Apple has earnings, okay? So what do? We traded from 0 line to H2, which is very, very rare. We pull back to here. There's kind of a little broadening pattern here on 15-minute. This is without extended hour data on, okay? 30-minute perspective. All right. We're trading at lows right now, right? We are trading at these lows. This white line is basically the 0 line. We'd like to get H1, healthy move, pull back, trade all the way back down to the H2 low, H1 low, H2 low, and 0 line, okay? this is rubber band. Okay, so this is that same data with pre-market data on and our trend lines, right? Skyline to skyline consolidation. We have a 50, 200 cross up and over, retested 21. We need to pull back. We need to retest, probably maybe come back, fill that little gap this morning, back down to 158, 159. We need to go 158.95, retest, move pre-market high. If we break the pre-market high, then we're going to come back up here. Right, this demand zone is still probably pretty valid. I don't know what the ATR and Apple is, but so long above 161, or yeah, long above 161 to 165. Those 162.50s will probably be super juicy. If we reject, or I mean, that's a big range. Unfortunately, I hate to give you this big range, but that's what I'm gonna have to do. Okay, long above 161, we go short below 150, 158.50, and 158, 158.50. There is trend line support. Right. Just leave it hanging. We have trend line support there. Every channel. This is a channel. Well, there's our channel. Can you see that? It's just dead nuts on. It's a perfect channel. Melt up. Okay. When this happens, we get a melt up. All the liquidity, right? And the implied volatility gets sucked out on the melt up and down. So we need quick pops or we need time, okay? Give yourself time, right? Take the 165s for 3 weeks out. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but you're not going to deal with this implied volatility, this IV crush that's going to happen, okay? All right, that was Apple. AMD, next up. AMD, all right. Slowly melting down. We're at the extensions where machines start coming in to trading this stuff, right? So AMD, I don't know what's going on with this and why it's so hard to, because it's so flat. Inside bar, I don't know a lot about this, but I know that this is just consolidation, right? The safe move would be long above 87 to 90, right? That's the safe move. And then short below 84, right? Below 84 to 82, right? 81, 82. Key levels there. Let's see what that looks like with some moving averages and some pre-market data on it, okay? Rally, reject 200, retest 200, squeeze, right? Moving average squeeze, right? We gapped up. I want to fill this gap. I want to pull back this morning pre-market to retest the 200, fill this gap, and then we go long above 80, let's just say long above 88 to 88.50, above that 90, right? Short below 86.50, 85. Okay. We gapped up, we can pull back, we can fill this gap to here, right? And then see where we open. we are just at the bottom of everything right now. Retesting the 21. Does AMD make another leg lower? It definitely can. If you wanted to stay out of AMD until it got above 93, right? And then we could play weekly bottom, weekly mid, daily bottom, 4-hour top to 90, 98, 100. You could do that. We do have the potential of creating an inverse head and shoulders right here. Left shoulder, head, and right shoulder over the next couple days, leading up into earnings. Does that make sense to you all? I think it makes sense to me. Really, very real possibility here on this. One, this would be the 2, and then 3. Neckline is up here at the 4-hour top, right? So maybe we get a pop and then a drop into earnings day, and then just rip faces out of that. Very real possibility. Okay. All right. Next up on our list of ones we watch every day is Nvidia. All right. Again, very similar look to AMD. We've been melting down, right? This big, thick green line right here, support coming in at 181. So we go short below, pretty much below 183. We have support coming in here at 180, 180, 182. Right? They're going to come in and start buying these levels. Machines are programmed to defend this level on Nvidia. Okay? So quick flush and then pop recovery. Right? Notice how the structure is a little different. We tested the 200, couldn't get above it, and now we one more little blip down and we filled the gap, right? So on Nvidia, below 191.25, stay out of it, right? Above 191, we go 195, 200, right? I mean, it's all looking pretty much the same across the board, except for Nvidia's having a little bit more of a hard time. Okay, we've got 188.32. If we can just come down and kiss that, that would fill the gap, and then we can get ready to move, right? Yeah, I'm being super bullish right now, but I'm giving you that level of the 200, the 15-minute 200, right? Just stay out of it until you get some closes above that. If we get a rip, look for a pullback to retest it, get on the pullback, get your little 20, 30%, and then just stay in the game for next week, right? All right, next up on the list. Square. Tesla. How did I get this screwed up? I don't know how to spell. All right. I think we got that little dip that we needed on Nvidia. So Square's been all over the place, right? So Square, we can actually move a little bit further down, 95, right? 95, 92. If we bounce here, 101, 102 is target 1, and 105 is target 2. 105 is going to be hard to hit, okay? So this white line is the 0 line, right? Very rarely does it come down to this -2, negative H2, right? We're at the 0 line on the daily. This is the weekly weekly 0 line. So daily H1, weekly 0. Weekly H1 would be daily H3, which is almost impossible to hit, right? there should be a, that's what I wanted to see. That's a projection, right? I don't know how I feel about this on TradingView. It's not the best looking TV chart, right? Fill, pullback, breakout, pullback, rip, consolidation, right? Chop, 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 chop. Square, up above the 200, no gaps to fill, right? There's no gaps here. We're just kind of chilling right at the 21. This 21, 200 cross up and over is going to happen here soon. This is super choppy. This is not a clean move, right? There's no like, yeah, decent move to the upside. So I don't want to give levels on Square because it would have to be above 105, right? And that's a big move up on it today. It may come down. There's other moves. Maybe we just take a day off away from Square. Okay, that's a rack. All right. You can always tell the stocks that I trade by the amount, if I have fib lines on them or not, right? Oh. Another key level for Tesla is at 876 level, 875, draw a line across your screen. So 875, 985, right? Those are the two levels. If Tesla rips from here, look for a move up to 900, then 920. I wouldn't expect more than that today. The chances of it getting out here to this red line is about a 10%. It's got a 16% chance of touching it, right? So, no, it's so hard to see. I can't, dude, I gotta figure out a better way to show that. I might have to show it on a different chart, right? So Tesla below 875, 852 incoming, right? We can get a little rip up to 900, 920, 940. Okay, moving on, we're going time. The SPY. So we gapped up, we came back, looks like we filled that gap. We have the 21, 200 cross up and over. We got a 50 crossing up and over the 200 coming in here soon. Can we get that move on SPY? Absolutely. Let's go, baby. Contrarian. Below 420, we hit 416. We have another channel going on here. Absolutely, we do. Let's check out this channel. The bubbles are way off. Sorry, me. So we gapped up above the 200. We're back testing it. We're getting 50 cross up and over. If this 50 rejects, then SPY can melt down. If it stays, we have a tree. Where did I draw that line? 430 upside target. 415, 413 to the downside, right? Zero line. See how it very rarely does it break above that H2, that high 2. Machines come in and push it back down to the 0. Now if it down cycles, right, like I said, 413, 414. If we get back up, 420, 422, 50 at the most. There's just not enough juice left, right? And then the QQQ. I don't know if these wicks are real data or if they're just blips, but we held the 200, we held the 50. We're going to get that move back up. Like I said, QQQ should be strong today. 327, 329. If you want to play it safe, you wait till the break above 325. 325 release to 328. It's going to take a lot of juice to get it there, but look at this. Right? This just took out all the stops, right? This came up and gobbled up all those people's money. People that were short here, or long here, right? Long above the 200, right? Came down. People have stops down in here. Filled the gap, took out all their stops. Should be fine. SPX. SPX is ugly. All right, SPX below 41. If we make a new low, right? This fire line is going to come into effect, and 4100 incoming on SPX, right? If we hold this, 4250 upside target 1, 4300 target 2, and then 4350 target 3. Downside, okay, the downside target's down. QQQ. Right. So interesting, we could move down on QQQ to 313, and we could move up 320, 323. Same deal with SPX. Right. We're at an H2 on the weekly. We're at support machines, so coming in here and buying this. They're defending this position. Okay. So like I said, SPX 4200, 4250. All right, let's get into the plays. Let's check out our data came through. GDP. All right. Forecast 1-1. Oh, we missed on GDP quarter over quarter. Then we beat on our price index. Unemployment was down, but above forecast, so kind of neutral. How does that affect our futures? There it is, right? We ripped through the 200, but then we were bouncing back up above it. So, or that's the 52. All right. I'll come back and check on this, but the N key rejected the 3-minute 50, the 3-minute 200, right? That squeeze is going to be super important to see what happens as a result of this. All right, I'll come back and check on this in about 10 minutes to see what the next 10 candles do, right? If we make a new low, then we're getting bull trapped. All right. Smart Money Dark Hole Block Trade Algorithm Software by FlowTrade. Yes, sir. All right, Chinese stocks today. BABA up to 34, which is also the 4-hour top daily bottom, right? I'd like to see it move up to BABA above to 92. BABA above 92, 98, 99. This is what that looks like. So we have to figure out which wave count we're in. This could be the 3. Right? Support for BABA is at 88.50, which is also a weekly cloud, daily bottom, 4-hour bottom, right? If we start breaking down below 88.50, then we down cycle to 86.50, and maybe come to retest 83 again. We can also go long, little pops up to 92, pull back to 90, and then move back up to like 98. Okay, there is a pretty significant little demand zone that runs 92 to 94. Just be aware of that. Okay. All right, let's get into the plays. Freeport Macaran. I was long on this because I thought I saw something, and I made good money yesterday on it. Right, nice money yesterday. However, today it's going to be interesting. Going to be very, very interesting. Very, very. Nvidia filled its gap pre-market, which is good. Shopify. And I'll tell you what, dude, I need Shopify just to rip to 500, right? So I have the 500 calls. Right. Okay, 4-hour bottom, 4-hour mid, 4-hour top. So I'm looking to move to 480. This is just, can we get out of this chop zone? Shop will have sympathy to Amazon. So one of the reasons I've got some shop plays is because I'd like to see if Amazon comes out and has stellar earnings, right? It can drag Shopify up with it, right? Shop has earnings next week. A little forecasting into what potential shop earnings could look like based on what Amazon has to say. So with Shop, I've got 2 of them. I'd cost average them. If we get a nice rip on Shop today and I can get my money back on them, I'm going to sell one of them. I'm going to lotto one of them, let it ride, right? We can close around 460, 470, 480 today. Got the 500 calls, right? 500 is a daily top. I mean, it's going to require a lot of juice, right? I don't know if Shop's got that juice left in it today. So, all right, Freeport Macaran. Let's get into the plays. So this is FlowTrade. This is smart money, dark pool, block trade algorithm software. The green bar is a price action. The purple line is the flow index algorithm that tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart monies, dark pools, block trades, and the big boys. Right? We like to see what's happening and follow. Everybody's like, follow the flow. Well, no, you see what smart money is doing and you prepare for it. Okay. AMC, right? Rounded bottom, right? Gonna have a little bit of momentum coming into today. I saw there were some AMC 8 posts going through Twitter last night. It's trending there for a little bit, right? Little head and shoulders. So above 1640, move to 1680, possibly 17. Right. This is that little inverted head and shoulders move I'm looking at AMD to make as well. Okay. All right. So, requests. So, good morning, Orlando, Terry, Binky, Andrea, Eric, Johnny. We miss you, brother. Okay. The first one here. It's the first requests. Orlando would like to see what's happening with the Q. I agree. We've got nice bullish divergence, right? Now, keep in mind, this 15-minute bullish divergence can take 2 days, 2 weeks, right? I've seen this divergence take a month to trade out. So just because we have it doesn't mean that it's going to happen today, okay? from block trade, we've got regular blocks and dark pool block support down here. We got a white line level at 317.66. White lines are when a regular and a dark pool block trade print on top of each other, and it's really hard for them to separate it out. Okay. Audio is very low. That's just me talking loud, dude. I'm tired. All right, so we're trading with price action. This is a funky little pattern because it's not really a pattern. I don't even know, dude. Is this a double bottom? Is this a higher low to higher high? It's just not clean, is what I'm seeing. So, all right. QQQ. 1 minute divergence charts. This was yesterday. This was the last 2 days, right? Right, we got a lot of trading with price right now. We're down at some key levels of support. We do have a very clearly defined falling trend line support. Okay. So if we wanted to be safe, we'd wait to price breaks above 317.75 to trade at 319, 319.50, right? If we come back down, we've got support at we've got this trend line right here that we're using as support on the way down. The flow index is just trading 1-to-1 with price. So the other safe move is to wait till we get back above 322.50 or move up to 330 and just avoid the big fight that's going to have happen. That's going to happen to get through all of these regular and dark pool blocks that are printed. Okay. All right. Amazon. All right. So we've got regular block support of 27.63 and then resistance of 27.87. Above that, we've got previous resistance of 28.32 to 28.50. Then there's a trading zone from 28.50 to 29.25, right? And then the next resistance comes in at 3,000. Okay. With earnings coming up and the flow index trading 1-to-1 with price, right? There's not a lot of divergence, right? That's what I mean. Right? We're trading 1-to-1 with price basically. This divergence here. We have divergence up to 2,900. Okay. It could start to be traded out. Possible inverse head and shoulders or a right. Are we looking for that wedge breakout? So just keep an eye on your Amazon. It does have earnings today, so just be aware. All right, Apple also has earnings. This is just trading 1-to-1 with price, right? We've got a cluster of regular blocks at 155.80, a dark pool that came in at 156.55, and then resistance coming in at 158. This is the same old pattern all over the place, up and down. Now, do we get a 1, 2, 3 reversal, right? Where 1, 2, 3 reversal, go long above the 2 point, 159.94, 64, right? 160, above 160, 162, 164 incoming, right? Do we rip up to this and reject it? Very possibly. A little bit of trend line support. Definitely have overhead resistance coming in at 158.30. Apple pre-market is already above that, if I remember correctly. 161 is the point, right? So above 161, right? We came up, we hit, channeling up. So we have resistance at 163.50. 163.50. That sounds about right. This level here. Selling out, selling out, selling out. Oh, all right, let's start getting back into Apple. All right, what else do we got? Baba. Nice, bullish divergence, right? Like I said with Baba, right, it has fought its way up through these regular dark pool levels. Okay, I can't remember what it was trading at. We hit 90. Support 88.76. So we came up to 90 pre-market, right? We continued to melt up, right? So the next step is we have some fairly clearly defined trading zones, right? We have 91 to 94, right? 95, 91 to 95, 94, and then we can reject that level. And the next trading zone is 95.40 to 99. So basically it's a $4 move with about a $1 gap. Okay, so you're like, oh, that's gorgeous divergence. Well, let's check it real quick. Look how, right? This divergence traded out, traded with price, trading with price, trading with price, and divergence up to 90. The flow index needs to really get some closes above this double top, right? We do have longer term divergence up to 107, right? But I think a lot of that's going to get traded out. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to check in one more time on our futures. And what do we got here? We have a problem. Pre-market gains erased. Could not get back above the 200. We made a new low. Now, does that mean we continue to make lower lows? I don't know. It's not looking the most bullish on our lower time frames. The ES held the 200. As you can see here, the ES came down, held its 200. The NQ fell down below it, filled all those pre-market gaps. So do we start with a rip out of the gate, or do we continue to sell off? Yeah, I don't know, man. It looked really good going into this morning, right? I like this little deal here. Here, look at this. Look at this Dow chart, right? So we do have some 50 on our upper time frames. We got some strength, right? The NQ came down and retested the 200, right? It's like, hey, will you support me, right? Possibly, right? So now we're looking for rallies to the 21. the Dow and the Russell, right? We're waiting for that 50 to 200 cross up and over. If we get that like we did the rest, right? I like this little line profile deal for the Dow. How perfectly it showed up. All right, value area low. Point of controls at 33,487. Value area highest 33,563. So should be interesting. Unfortunately, the Nasdaq was a little weaker than I thought it was going to be. All right, that's it for me. Stay safe, stay green. Have a great day. Hopefully, we had some failure in crude, bonds, and gold for that rotation into